Hey everybody, Radaman here. Thanks for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included. Last episode, we started working on our liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen setups. We also launched a ship which is almost home, which is going to be our first biological cargo ship and our first sightseeing. So that's exciting. This episode, you are definitely going to see me do a lot more building here in this area, setting up the rest of the chill chambers. I like that name. What do I have yellow alerted? Oh yeah, that should be yellow alerted. It's also possible that sometime in this episode we'll be able to vacuum out the oil biome, or at least probably part of it. The eastern part, not likely to be vacuumed out. Oh look, our favorite regolith is back. Alright, this shovelful may be responsible. Fangface proposed that as a possibility, and if it is, I will kill it. So I'm getting a little tired of my stuff getting buried in regolith. It happens a lot. Like a ridiculous amount. Alright, I'm actually going to shrink this down just a little bit. Let's go ahead and put these steam turbines just a little closer to one another, so as I, might be able to save some resources. So this is ceramic. Yeah, all this could be ceramic. Good. Alright, the other thing I wanted to do is to have access to this facility. And by that, I mean, some sort of oil lock or something. When is this? Okay, well, I don't know why this is not opening up, but I'm not going to wait for it to crash into my bunker doors. Oh, there it goes. It would have been fine. But I wanted to take initiative. Because for me to stare at it and not open it could have been bad. So that will be our first cargo mission of that nature. And of course, Sightseer Angelia will be coming back home. So it's the first sightseeing mission as well, and we'll take a look at the benefits to stress that supplies. Before I get too far into the weeds, let's call it, yeah, it looks to me like I am in dire need of water filtration. Taking a look at my ranches, 6 and 7. So, yeah, we're incubating already. That's not going to be an issue. There seems to be a little bit of water that's spilled. And space mission complete. Here it is. Angelia popping out of the sightseeing module, I guess, without actually using the gantry. So that's interesting. We've got an egg-shaped rock. And then in the biological capture... Oh, let me set this to 0. 0. 0. I'm not planning on making another trip anytime soon. The biological capture bay has wheezeworts and sleetwheat. 3 wheezeworts. I'm going to wait until kicking this out because there's a little bit of exhaust gas here. And then the way to do this is just click empty storage. Boom. So there's my wheezeworts. So if you wanted renewable sources of wheezeworts, that is how you would do it. If we take a look at Angelia here, at her stress, she is appreciated. Oh, is there not? I really thought there would have been a benefit to sightseeing. I don't know. I haven't done a lot of sightseeing in the past, but I wanted to do it at least once. So the egg-shaped rock thing, let's put that over here. Oh, wow. Misclicked. Rainbow colored. Very, very strange little rock. And then we'll have 3 extra Weezwarts that I can use. A bunch of people in the comments mentioned that one thing I could do in order to try to keep these ranches temperate is to build like a normal gas pipe that is thermally reactive. 2 DTUs per 1 gram. Or even just a regular pipe. Like here and here. Not even a thermally reactive one. So let's see if that works. Because it doesn't really need to be radiant if there's not a lot of heat buildup. Maybe it could just be a normal one and that will work just fine. Alright, Angela, you're getting a mite bit stressed. And this chamber is coming together. It is a lot, and I mean a lot of temp shift plates. And in my case, because I'm so close to space, some drywall as well. But that's the cost. That is the cost. Take a look at the gas overlay. Okay, don't really have any pockets of actual vacuum yet. So it might be some time yet. Those Weezwart seeds, they won't. It won't be a problem if I keep them there, but they're going to want to move. So I'm going to uproot this one and have 4 Weezwart seeds. I'm going to keep 1 Weezwart next to this Buddy Bud. But let's go into the base right now and find pockets of heat that need to be tempered. So I would say 2 Weezwarts there might be good. And then maybe Weezwarts here. So I will set this to 9s. So we actually build it, because anything set to 5 is so low, it's basically never going to get to. Oh, I've been making ceramic for a while. Let's stop that. And wait until this pocket of heat from the ceramic gets cleared before retooling the temp shift plates that are there. Oh, the progress is looking good. Delivering all this Maffic rock. First time we have a use for Maffic rock. So if you take a look at Maffic rock as far as insulated tiles go, the specific heat that Maffic rock can contain is very, very low, which makes it a good material. It's not going to say it's slow heating, but it makes it a good material as a sort of insulator because it can't and won't contain a lot of heat. All right, they're getting building on that. Colony summary. What is new? Well, that happened a long time ago. All my research being done. Feel like I just haven't hit colony summary since then. So, the Weezwarts, I got 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And other hotspots. Maybe I'll put one here. And I could shut down these power transformers, as what they are connected to no longer requires power. As you can see, it was just for the forge, so there's no need for the power transformers to be kicking off so much heat. if the forge is, well, we don't really have any material reagents for the forge. Now, it's possible, in fact, probable, that I will want more fullerene for super coolant. But in order to get that, I'm going to have to change my biological cargo bay and my sightseer module back to what they were, cargo, regular old cargo. So we'll get that built too. But this is definitely coming together, most assuredly. Trying to think of a way to do liquid locks here that wouldn't be a problem. I'd want to do old school liquid locks because I don't trust Visco in this application. So this is going to look a little ugly out of the sheer requirements of what I'm having to build here. That's one. And that's two. So the reason to put these in is so that I can maintain my... And I can put these on the other side. I can maintain this... you know, I can make repairs and all that when needed. Which can be pretty crucial if you have mistakes or something like that. So there's one side, and then let's do the same sort of setup on the other. Yeah, that will work. They can fit through diagonals in that way, but I don't really need to make it so ridiculous shaped. And there's obviously a lot of ceramic that goes into this access. But if it's the first time you're ever making cooling or heating, it's going to be pretty important that you have a way to repair if need be. Because your first time designing something, you might not get it right. And you're going to want a way to maintain it if you get it wrong. So, hence, all of the extra construction. Okay, there we are. This was all 9s. We'll continue with the 9s. Because that is my... Well, that's my calling card at this point. And then to maintain this... Oh, are you... Copious, you're not actually stuck there. You're just standing there awkwardly. Looking good. I like how it's coming together. So this chamber over here is done, more or less. We're just going to add the ceramic base to it. I added these in last just so that we could move around more quickly. And then down here, I was going to do a super coolant catch container thing. So I'm going to continue that. Now there's a little bit of polluted oxygen in here. And I'm definitely going to want to remove it. Which Let me see the gas overlay. Yeah, there's a bit of polluted oxygen everywhere. Unfortunately, I think this means, even though I'm in vacuum here, unless I want to wait an incredibly long period of time, it might make sense just to employ some liquid pumps to evacuate the gas. And as you may have assumed, I'm also going to need a sizable amount of power for this project. So I'm going to be setting up, I guess it really doesn't need to be on ceramic, but I'm going to be setting up some each one of these requires, you know, its own conductive wire, so I'll need a bunch of power transformers. Now, the issue, actually, with putting the power transformers here, I'm not going to put them there, is in a vacuum, they're going to build up heat and not be able to dissipate said heat. So I'm going to want to put them, maybe here, I guess. So let's set up the... Because in a vacuum, you'll just be building up heat forever and have no way to get rid of it, which is ultimately going to be destructive. So I will just put a little... I could put a power switch here. Yeah, I'll put a power switch here, so I can turn it all off and on remotely. There. And then we'll be running 2 different conduit wires out for left and right. It also means that these steam turbines, which in this spot here, I'm going to set up a heavy watt joint plate. The steam turbines will produce power, and I should have them wired up to the main grid as well. This is going to be a little weird. Because it was probably gonna... let's see. This wire's gonna have to jump. So it'll look something like that. So this wire to the pump. Put a wire bridge in. Okay. Looks like this rocket did get broken down, so let's add some cargo bays. Now, I never actually changed the layout of the rails here, so the cargo bays should be fine to just throw in, and they're already going to have rails. My natural gas amount is going back up. That's good. Change into the heads. Shine them fig, huh? And my water is nice and filtered. Okay, let's cancel sweeping of the Visco and Super Coolant. I don't really want to sweep it. And all of these additional Wheeze-Warts should be making a positive effect on the temperature here. Especially once this cools down a little bit further. I'm going to wait for the for all the heat that the kilns made to cool a little bit more than they currently have. And then what I can do is start rerouting the cool oxygen to chill other spots of the base. Oh, I guess I was going to put... I never did I? I have enough regulars now. Okay, there's one cargo bay. And this will be returning to the metallic asteroid. This is the metallic ship, supply ship, and there's one shipment of fullerene to collect. you know, at present. I'm going to do a little mopping here just so that I quit outgassing polluted oxygen, as it is getting annoying. Shallow bits of polluted oxygen will outgas like that, and well, I don't really want that anymore. Alright, these have no power. Why? Oh, because they're not actually connected to anything. Yeah, that makes sense. So then the conduit wires here, we could just use gold. And we'll be sending one cable like this, and one cable like this. It does bring me to another thought. Whatever happened to my gold volcano? Oh, okay, it is wired up correctly. I was wondering if I had ever made it so that I capture the power from this turbine, and I do. Well, that's good. Oh, wow. This has been dormant so long that I've chilled the... Yeah, next activity, 9 cycles. I've chilled the hydrogen up here quite a bit. Quite a bit. Not to the point where I think the petroleum or crude oil is going to freeze. But that's a good head start. What about in this geyser? Yeah, this geyser's struggling to keep up with the temperature. I wish there was a better way to do it. I mean, I could obviously add in a lot more wheezeworts. And maybe in the future I would build it like that, but I think at this point, there's little benefit to doing that. So this is sort of the cooling chamber that you're going to see me use. And we just have to get this built. Then another thing I'm going to do is bottle emptier. This is going to be good old-fashioned petroleum plopped in here. Just something that is heat resistant. Because obviously this will be steam and this will be hydrogen. And the steam and the hydrogen are going to build up heat, no doubt. So it will help if I chill it. And then I left 2 spaces over here. And I could put in a pneumatic door or something in this area. That's actually going to be a bit of a challenge. I could put a pneumatic door here, I guess. And that will allow me to isolate this as a power area. I don't know its size. We'll see about size. Because I might have to lower the steam ceiling a bit. That'd be an annoying redesign, but I'll do it if I have to. Alright, this stuff just keeps outgassing. Another thing I could do if I wanted this to stop outgassing up to prevent this from being vacuum is, well, yeah, let's just do this. Alright, let's seal it off. So I'm going to get rid of, I'm going to dig here so that I don't have organics. And then, I'm going to seal this off entirely. So it'll be something like... breaking down this ladder and just separating the top and bottoms. This is going to get messy, but it's fine. I don't want to continually have these stupid outgassings. All right, over here, I think it would, ooh, maybe a little lower. It would serve me well if I had a easy access path to get to the other side over there. So I'll build that. Because obviously this is, you know, outgassing now too. That should stop the polluted oxygen from escaping this slime biome once this is done. And is about to massively spill, but none of this water can go anywhere that matters. It's all going to be collected eventually. All right, if we are heading to a... Let me do the calculations again because I don't have the numbers memorized. So, petroleum, 2 cargo bays with oxalite. A distance of 20k is 1037. So, 1037 and 900 and 237 or 137. Rather. Okay, we might need to introduce more petroleum into this line. It's looking a little... Well, let's see. If we scroll down far enough. Oh, no, it has enough. It just hasn't circulated. And this is where a lot of my diamond is, because we broke down a lot of these... a lot of the temp shift plates that we didn't really need. Why are these producing heat? They shouldn't be. Alright, let me turn these off a different way. Because... turn them off with automation wires rather than with the switch. Are these really producing heat? They are, but they're not given power. How do you produce heat with no power? Maybe it's just a... I don't know. Whatever. I'll turn them off the other way. I don't need to understand. I'll just need to turn them off. Comprehension is not my goal. So, this looks to be entirely fueled up. We just need to give it an astronaut. Open the doors. Pull the gantries. Don't waste oxalite. And we'll be good to go. All right, looking good. Good luck. Go get that fullerene. All right, that build is unreachable. An easy fix. Maybe we can't traverse through here. Oh, you know what? I might need to get rid of this ceramic here. Or nudge this over one. I'll nudge it over one. Because I don't think we can... No, we can move in there. How? Oh, it's unreachable because the floor is not built. I see. Sorry, Angelia. My original calculations were correct. It's like, dang it. To build or not to build? Alright, so the temp shift plates are almost all in. As you can see, none of these temp shift plates directly border the edge of the tiles or anything like that. For good reasons, so the temp shift plates aren't dumping heat into the insulated tiles unnecessarily. And now at this point, oh, who's idle? You are idle because there is no way out for you. How'd you even get up there? Oh, because you built the wall or something. Alright, using the emergency to get you out of that spot. Oh, come on, someone. Build the plastic, oh, there we go. I thought they were just gonna leave her stranded there for a bit. All right, so the polluted oxygen in these locations are here off. There. The polluted oxygen in these locations are slowly going down. And this should stop any additional outgassing to allow it to all escape to space and to stop messing with me. Speaking of gases. Oh, it's looking pretty thin down here. Yeah, we're very close to pockets of vacuum at this point. Micrograms of pressure now. Very, very, very low pressure. All right, I would also like to start dumping petroleum here, enabling auto bottle. Copy this setting, paste it over here. And this will allow us to maintain these areas without, you know, gaining access to them without having to like stop outgassing or whatever, or releasing the steam or whatever material it is to space. So, a worthy addition. And we're getting pretty close to completion, too. So in this spot, I'm going to have to remove one of these plastic ladders. In this spot, we're going to put the supercoolant. And then I'm going to be able to pump the supercoolant into the liquid reservoirs. So we are going to have a bottle emptier here for the supercoolant and a pipe for the pump. Or rather a pump for the liquids. Sure is coming together, though. Alright, so the bottle emptier at this point will be for supercoolant. And I'm also going to enable auto bottle, which will allow us to get rid of it, or to move it. Conductive wire bridges. I would say at this point we can go to gold instead of lead. Not that I think there will be significant heat buildup, but better safe than sorry. So here's some gold cables coming out. And this is very much going to be a left-right type of thing. Like the Chambers of her heart or something. I don't know. But we'll get that built. No petroleum has been delivered yet, though. It's okay. I knew it was not going to be instant. But we're going to have liquid locks here and here. And the liquid locks, this is going to be a area of hydrogen for the cooling of these turbines to work. And then this, of course, is just going to be steam. And it's a steam deletion method of getting rid of the heat that the aqua tuners are generating. As one might have already assumed. We're finally getting some of that insulation tile in. So I could have left a gap here, like a 2 walkway gap. It would have raised the height of this construction considerably to make sure that the cold chamber and the hot area steam didn't border one another. This was a YouTube comment, in fact. But I don't really feel like I need a gap if I build it the way I built it with insulation. With the insulation. I know how strange that sounds, but technically it's correct. Because the actual insulation tile won't allow heat transfer here anywhere between these two areas. So I'm just using a very minimum amount of insulation to set this up. And now we're just waiting on these steam turbines and a little bit of the drywall, and we'll be good. And also the polluted oxygen to get on out of there. And here's some of the super coolant being moved. And this is ultimately where we're going to be using the super coolant and then the petroleum. So there's vacuum in the other 2 chambers. It's just these 2 that have non-vacuum. So I think what I'm going to do is... Oh, these are liquid pumps. Oh, dear me. I'll pretend that never happened. If you guys will allow me to. I was like, huh, the gas pumps aren't working. Yeah, no, why would they? All right, is this inside? Let's see, room overlay. It is a 66 tile. Yeah, that's no problem. So up here, if we wanted to, it is a little bit of a haul. But if we wanted to, we could do a power control station. I'll make it at a gold so it doesn't melt. Power control station here, allowing us to tune up these steam turbines, because these steam turbines are definitely going to, you know, they're definitely going to generate a lot of power. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, no, no. All right, this conductive wire. I actually don't want the wires to go into the insulation at all. I can have that happen temporarily while I pump the gas, but I don't want it to be a permanent thing. Alright, so now this should be a power plant, and it is. Easily meets the size requirements. And now we're just waiting for some liquid delivery and some gas removal. Speaking of gas removal, any signs of vacuum yet? No, not quite there. I keep checking. But not quite there. Alright, let's maintain the base for a second. We've got our waters. I'll start running it through circulation once it's degermified. These weezeworts I hate doing 9s, but these Weezeworts are going to require 9 settings if we're going to actually fertilize them ever, because everything else is a 9. I know, the irony. I'm aware. The cooling area here, let me destroy background buildings. This cooling area, I don't think we're going to need any more ceramic, and if we do, I can always put these kilns back. So let's break this setup down, and then the ventilation here is going to go back to insulation so that we can start spreading the heat up the pipe. Looks like we haven't been farming at all, but that's fine. I'm not really that hungry. 7 and 8. And we still have a glossy? Perfect. Okay, this water's ready to go. The sound of progress. How wonderful it is. Alright, at this point, flick this switch. And I know the doors are open. But that's fine. All of this gas that's sort of trapped in here, this polluted oxygen area, I want to eventually just kick out and remove, so the open doors are sort of intentional. Alright, we do have a liquid lock here, but I'm going to add a little bit more petroleum so it's not a bare minimum liquid lock, because there's only 20 kilograms between this and venting out to space. And 20 kilograms is just not a comfortable amount. Not that I think it will boil off or phase change or anything, but 80 feels better. Alright, what's going on with these steam turbines? Why are we not building them? Guess what, guys? You guessed it. It's an emergency now. Totally unnecessary emergency, but an emergency nonetheless. Yeah, you're just being lazy. It's because one who is many is the only one that can build them, given his skills. If we take a look at the, skills here, one who is many, is the only one with mechatronics engineering, but he doesn't have a construction priority, so we do sort of have to emergency it in order for it to work. Funny enough. Alright, so this is at... let's actually add a little bit more petroleum, because we have so much of it. What is my hotkey for petroleum? I'll just pan. You know, we have so much petroleum to pull out that I think it's fine to just go a little overboard. As long as it doesn't overflow. Now, another thing we're going to have to do is hydrogen. I'm going to need to move... How are we doing here? I'm going to need to move considerable hydrogen and oxygen to these areas here. The oxygen's pretty easy because there's a pipe right here that I can tap into that's been feeding my space dock and stuff like that forever, and this connects all the way down to the rest of my oxygen. But as for hydrogen, I think the closest pipe is here, and this is I'm gonna have to run this pipe up like this. How high do I need to get it? I need to get it a little higher than that. So here will be hydrogen. And oxygen. So in order to make liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen, we need to have gas for it. I think this is probably pretty obvious to most. And then some of this old ventilation that we just haven't upgraded, I'm going to have be the new 9s, just so that they get to it. Wow, we are still pumping, huh? Yeah, it was a lot of outgassed gas. I guess it would require a bunch of pumps. I'm going to, out of impatience, add to this. It's going to use up a lot more power than I probably should dedicate for this, but whatever. I can afford a little power loss. All right, both of these bottle emptiers have not been added to. I definitely want to catch it before it adds too much, though. You don't want to get in a situation where we have an overflow and we have to mop it. That would be kind of waste of effort. Oh, we can make more insulation. Because we got reed fibers from the pets. The Drecos. Well, I have a lot of projects set to 9. So we're just going to have to be a little patient. Now, the purpose of these pipes here, the sort of hottish hydrogen gas should not be adding heat to the base up here. As you see this hydrogen gas, actually 50 Fahrenheit. Where does it get hot? Oh, you know what? It never really got hot. It's actually pretty chill. You take a look at the temperature here. This is cold hydrogen gas. Yeah. That's not all that necessary, to be fair. We could actually be using it as a coolant source. I'll sweep this up. Oh, we also don't need these anymore. Maybe someday, Buddy Bud, that you'll come back. That Buddy Bud is struggling for real. But it's pretty hot up in this area here, so I might want to chill that down at some point. Easier said than done. I could set up my hydrogen, my cold hydrogen to help cool that, but I think that we'll do that when I get this set up. Okay, so we're actually hitting vacuum. I really would have assumed that the left would hit vacuum first, but I'd be wrong. And it's becoming vacuum down here too. So between these two pumps, this is all vacuumed out. I guess this is acting as a liquid lock here, so I can speed up the process by mopping that there. It's not a pure liquid lock because obviously it can go around, but that's it's probably the reason this got vacuumed, is this gas can't escape from right to left. But it can now. Alright, so these chambers are reading as gasless. But all the more reason to build the other gas pumps to really remove all the polluted oxygen. Because I could lock these closed, but I'm not going to be able to open it. I don't want to introduce oxygen into my setup. But I think right now, everybody's working on adding those new ventilation pipes. Made of sandstone. Oh, not even a good material. But it doesn't really matter because I'm not... Heat is not a problem. I don't really care about the temperature of the oxygen or hydrogen that is coming in. So whether it's hot or cold, it makes no difference to me. And our metallic supply ship with the fullerene is home. Now I'm going to refuel this ship up again because I imagine I'm going to go for another fullerene run once the resources are available. So we'll continue to refuel and run those missions. Alright. If these pumps aren't made, I might as well just power this down. Oh, never mind. We don't need to do it. All that polluted oxygen, yeah, it eventually outgassed to space. So now let me fix all the power cabling, because there's cables everywhere. I'm going to just beautify it a little bit. Even though it's extra effort. And then ventilation. I'm not going to need any of that. The gas pumps themselves, we can break those down as well. And, like always, slap this with the big old 9. So I'd like to have it be sort of symmetrically, aesthetically pleasing. Hey man, what are you doing? Headbanging? Just giving people the thumbs up? Cool. He seemed to have some problems there. And then in this spot, I don't know if it's going to stop the heat conduction, but I'm going to have conductive hops like this. There. Pretty straightforward. And then everything else that is not being used for construction, we will sweep. Alright, as you can see, the cooling effects are starting to take root. It's going to be a while before it actually gets, you know, nice. But it's a start. So now most of this is done. How much super coolant do I have yet to make? So if I turn this on and focus on, forget insulation for now, work on supercoolant, forget thermium, I can make 1 batch of supercoolant. How much supercoolant is sitting here, though? That's sort of my question. 1,500 kilograms? So yeah, I'm going to want to be careful not to overflow this. So I'm going to stop this right now. And then the petroleum up here got to be an amount that I feel safe with. So we'll stop that as well. Okay, so now it's just a matter of sweeping this. And then in these ventilations... Oh, yeah, that's something I should do. Power. The left here is going to be oxygen. And this is arbitrary, mind you. It's totally arbitrary. So we're going to have oxygen and hydrogen. And then once we're here, I'm going to do insulation for the remainder of the run. Oh, and that should be insulated gas pipes, just so that there's no heat issues with the... And I'll minimize the amount of insulation I use, but just so that there's no heat issues. So sandstone up until this point, and then insulated gas pipes going on in. It's expensive, but that's pretty much what our insulation's for, right? And I'm going to cut 2 of the pipes here because I'm not quite ready to have the oxygen and hydrogen flow into here. I don't want that yet, but I will want it soon. And it could just be a normal gas vent. It doesn't need to be a high pressure gas vent. Well, we're looking pretty good up here. Let's break down this gas vent. Our gas pipes look good. Oh, thanks for sweep. I was about to say sweep that, but then you only swept some of it, not all of it. So no compliment. So if we turn the power on, now these doors are going to be more easy to open and close. And then once we're all set to go, I'm going to keep these doors locked once the insides are built. And that will give us the green light to start putting oxygen and hydrogen into these areas. But I'm not going to do that just yet because we need to add a bunch of thermium supercoolant cooling tubes. So at this point, I should probably turn this back off, save myself some power and heat. So the way this will work, more or less, is what I'm going to do is put in a liquid pipe or liquid pump. Put one here and here. This is for when we do have liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen, we can pump it. But I'm not going to be using that for a long time, just mind you. So the way this is going to work is when the supercoolant that we have, when the cold supercoolant comes out of the out of the aqua tuner, we're going to have the insulation pipes run it down into the cooling chamber. So basically, we're going to have supercoolant become the temperature of liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. And then when when the, sorry, I'm stumbling on the words. When that supercoolant becomes the correct temperature, then we run it around and we chill the gas that are in these chambers to try to bring it down to the temperature where it becomes liquid. So that is the next big step. At this point, yeah, we'll have plumbing, insulated plumbing. So I have insulated plumbing running into the heat chambers, so there's no transfer of bad temperature. And it also, I should make a little bit more insulation because it seems like I'm using my insulation up. That's fine. Well, I am out of time, but we're getting pretty close to the point where we're going to be able to do liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. So I'm very eager about that. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you next episode. Farewell.